Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a different video. I'm going to go ahead and tour around my game room. So if anybody who's interested in it can see, we're going to go ahead and start here. This is the future movie section, the older movie section, older video format area. This here is a CED player. It's kind of old. The movies look like gigantic records. This is a movie, and you turn that on and you stick this in the machine, and then you pull it out, and the movie, as you can see how it says side 1, well, that right there, that top strip is the movie, and it's like inside this case. So it's kind of an older video format. I think it's kind of neat. So this area over here is going to be where I have the CED, Laserdisc, and Beta videotape area, and VCR, just older forms of movies and stuff like that. Making our way over here, there's a treadmill. It's not really gaming related, but I'm not going to drag it out of here again. I've drugged that thing in and out of the garage so many times. I'm done. I'm just going to leave it there. Here I have a table that I use to clean my video games and stuff like that. I've got the cleaning tool, and I got some cleaning supplies in here. I use them to clean some of the video games contacts and cases and whatnot. So that's what this table is basically used for. Superman, that's a metal sign. That's Superman. Monty Python, Holy Grail. That's a funny movie. Incredible Hulk. It's like a comic book thing. It's made of wood. And then I've got another metal sign there, which is Captain America. And from this part over is where I'm entering the actual gaming area. So I'll go ahead and start here. These are my Nintendo 64 games. I've got them. They're in alphabetical order. You know, 007, Army Men, Banjo-Kazooie, Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64. I've got just a little bit of all the goodies. F-Zero X, Forsaken 64. Not a terrible game, but I don't like it. It's not my favorite. Glover. That's kind of a fun game. Mario Kart 64. Any Nintendo 64 collection. It kind of has to have that. Perfect Dark. Pokemon Stadium. That's a fun game. Quake 1 and 2. Rampage World Tour. That's a fun game. I used to play that a lot when I was a kid. Resident Evil 2. Extremely difficult game. Looks like it's kind of dirty on the camera. Looks nasty. But I guess that's appropriate. Resident Evil 2. Nasty. South Park. That's always fun. Star Fox 64. Star Wars. Rogue Squadron Racer. Shadows of the Empire. Super Mario 64. That's a fun game. Turok Dinosaur Hunter, Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, Turok Rage Wars, Vigilante 8, Second Offense. That's fun. WWF Warzone. Yoshi's Story is a fun game, and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. That's another fun game. So these are all my Nintendo 64 games. I've got them in this case. A friend of mine gave it to me. It's really cool. It's a cool way to display them. I like them. I want to eventually get the end labels that go on them, because I think that's a really cool thing to have the end labels on it. So, and I've seen some of them. They're actually pretty neat. So we're going to go ahead and from top down. There's the Nintendo 64 and all of its glory. It's all hooked up. Right below that, I've got a regular Nintendo. It's always a goodie. And below that is the Super Nintendo. Fun, fun, fun. So we're going to step over this side. Starting from the top, this area over here is a little bit different. This is more like the collage of my collection. I've got an Arcadia 2001. There's a Space Invaders box, Atari 2600 box in the back. I've got 3 box complete in television games. In here I keep some manuals, some Nintendo manuals, and here's the Atari video computer system catalog. Next here I've got Final Fantasy, the Nintendo game box. I have another Super Nintendo. This one's actually broken, but I still keep it to display it because I think it's kind of cool. It also When I had it, I bought a new pin connector, so it actually has a brand new pin connector in it, and I'm holding on to it, so if I have to switch for the other one, I can just take it out of this one, and then I'm good to go. Here I've got my Game Boy Color. It had taken some damage, and so I had to do some repairs on it, so you know, I had to repaint it, and this is a different plastic screen. I had to actually cut this out, so as you can see on the sides there, it's not perfect, but I had to cut this out, this plastic piece, another piece of plastic that I had to cut it out and shape it and everything because the screen was damaged and couldn't see anything. Here I've got the Retro Duo Portable. I've done a video on that, and so you know what that is. Here's the Game Boy games, and I've got a Game Boy Advance game here. That was a remote to the TV. So we're going to start top down like always. We got the GameCube. This is just a regular GameCube. It's a fun system. Below that we have the Atari 2600. Also another fun system. And below that, the PlayStation 2. Ooh, it's a little dirty in there. I gotta clean that up. It's been I got this at a used bookstore, and I guess I never really noticed how bad it was until I put the camera on it. So I will have to clean that. So we're gonna go ahead and scoot over to here. Here are the Atari 2600 games, starting from the top down. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to, briefly talk about a few of them. We got E.T., Donkey Kong, Kaboom, Galaxian. Coming down. Video Olympics is fun. Sword Quest. Sword Quest. There we go. Earthworld, Fire World. I don't know why they're not together. I guess I haven't organized these yet. Most of my video games, actually my Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games, and Nintendo 64 games are in order, but I guess these ones aren't for some reason. Don't know. Anyway. Excuse me. I have some custom labels that I had to make because as you know, these games are older, so the labels, they get dirty underneath them. They get dirt underneath them, and the labels fall off. And so apparently this one's Missile Command, and so I just cut out a piece of, it was a label thing, as soon as I can make some better looking labels. Porky's. This is kind of a weird game. If you see the movie, you'll understand. This is kind of a strange game for the Atari 2600 when you think about it, and when you think of the plot. I'd obviously pole position. I don't have a end label for that one. It's weird. Oh yeah, Frogger. That's a fun game for this 2600. It's kind of a, none of these games are really like, oh my gosh, I can just sit down and marathon play these, but they're fun for, hey, I gotta kill some time. Oh, I'll play Frogger for a little bit. Down from there, we have the GameCube games. I think these are actually in order also. I think so. I'm missing one around here somewhere, I think. Yeah. There, that goes there. My wife and I were playing this game, and I guess she didn't put it back where it belongs. Oh well, no, I'm done. Army Men, Sarge's War, Bloody Roar, Primal Fury. That is a fun game. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Fun game. Ed and Eddie Misadventures. Let's go to the important ones. Here is F-Zero X. Or F-Zero GX, sorry. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. I'm still stuck on this game. I'm stuck. Here's Mario Kart Double Dash. Mario Party 7. Here is Blank Case. This is actually Phantasy Star Online. I only have the disc, and I didn't have the case for it, so as soon as I can print off a picture for the case, then I'll have that. Super Mario Sunshine. Soul Calibur 2, fun game. I have 2 copies of Spider-Man 2. The only reason is because one was mine, and the other one was a friend of mine, and he didn't want his GameCube games anymore, so he gave it to me, and so I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Why not? And so that's why I have 2 of that. So coming over here, Splinter Cell, SSX Tricky, that's hard to say. Super Smash Bros. Melee, however you want to say it. I don't really give a shit. Tony Hawk's Underground, surprisingly a really fun game. I'm not really into skateboarding, but that's kind of a really fun game. Ultimate Spider-Man is another fun game. And Extreme G is another fun game. Moving on from that, there's Super Smash Bros. Brawl. It's one of the few Wii games that I actually own. I don't own a lot of Wii games because I don't really like the Wii that much, so I have Brawl and I have the Wii Sports games, but nothing else. Coming over here, some Xbox 360. I've got WWE 13. Let me situate myself. WWE 13. I also have more Xbox 360 games, but they're upstairs because that's where my Xbox 360 is. I only have HDMI cables. I don't have the standard composite cables for it, and the TV that's in my game room doesn't have HDMI, and I don't have a thing for it, so it's upstairs for right now. Moving over here, we got some PlayStation 2 games. I really love the PlayStation 2, and I really want to get more in the library, because when I used to collect for it a long time ago, I had quite a few games, and they were all the games that I really liked, but I sold it, you know, as younger people tend to do with their games when they don't realize, you know, later on it might be nostalgic to them, or it might be worth something. I sold all of them. And so I've been having to get my collection again. So I've got a few of them here. Guitar Hero 2, Lego Star Wars, and a few other games. And all the way down on the end here, this is not a game. It's the Blizzard Entertainment DVD collection. Diablo 2, Warcraft 3, and StarCraft. The reason these are over here is, number one, so it can hold the rest of those games up as like an end, and also because it's more game-related than it is movie-related. So that's why I put it over here instead of with my DVDs. There's a Guitar Hero controller box. I actually got this. It's crazy because there's a store that's local where I live, and you buy one of these guitars for like 20, 30 bucks. And I ended up getting this one for $5. It came with the box, and it didn't have the game in it because it was a Goodwill store where I found this. But it's still pretty cool. You can get the box and the guitar, you know, for $5 versus 25 or 30 bucks. Moving on. Next is the Nintendo Super Nintendo collection, and that's the end of the video games at this point. So we're going to go ahead. These are all in order, alphabetical order. I'm not going to go into great detail on each and every single game. I'm just going to go on like the good ones here. Or not the good ones, but the more memorable ones. I mean, because some of them are bad. Speaking of bad dudes. Are you a bad enough dude to rescue the president? I think that's what it was. Blaster Master, fun game, very fun game. It's a fun adventure game made by Sunsoft. It's a very good game. It's hard. It's very hard. Bionic Commando, Castlevania 1 and 2. I do not have Castlevania 3 yet. It's one of those ones I have to get so I can complete that. Clash at Demon Head, surprisingly a very, very fun game. It's not that well known as far as I know, but it is a very fun game. It's like an adventure RPG style kind of game. You'll have to play it. It's fun. I actually got this for 10 cents out at a pawn shop like 5 years ago or something like that. Dash Galaxy and the Alien Asylum. I have not played it yet. I just thought the cover looked pretty cool. Demon Sword, Double Dragon, Elevator Action. Oh, hold on before I go there. Yeah. Elevator Action. That was another fun game. I used to have this one back when I was a kid. None of this is an original collection except for some of my Super Nintendo games. The Nintendo games none of them are from my original collection because I sold them a long time ago, like I said, to get money to get PlayStation 2 games, oddly enough. Elevator Action. That's a fun game. Fester's Quest, surprisingly, it's fun, but it's fucking difficult. It is difficult. It's also made by Sunsoft, and they recycled a lot of sounds between Fester's Quest and Blaster Master, which is weird for me. Final Fantasy, here's the actual game. I had the case over, the box right behind me, but here's the actual game. It's a fun game. Friday the 13th, I did a review on that a long time ago. Well, there's the game. You know, for people who think that I don't own the games, well, here it is. Gauntlet, first and second one. Those are great games. Hogan's Alley, Home Alone 2 Lost New York, Hide Lied, ugh. It's a very horrible game. I mean, I love it because it's nostalgic and it's like, it's just bad. If you ever get a chance, check it out. Jaws, Knight Rider, Legacy of the Wizard. Oh, that was my knee. It just exploded. Life Force. Awesome game. This game is really awesome. It's a shooter. It's a space shooter game. You know, but it's awesome. It's made by Konami. I love Konami. They have some fucking kick-ass games, and that's one of them. Mappy Land. I remember playing this arcade a long time ago, and it was one of my favorite arcades. So I got it on the NES. Metroid, Rambo, yay, RoboCop, Rygar, here we go. Here's another original. This is a 5-screw original game, as you can tell, which you can also tell by the tops because the 5-screw is flat right there and the 3-screw has the little notches. Anyway, Rygar, fun game. That's a very fun game. It's an action-adventure type game, and you gotta collect different weapons and things like that, and it's fun. Here's a Snoopy game. It's weird. Snoopy something. Snoopy Silly Sports Spectacular. Don't ask why. I just have it. Spy Hunter, right there. Get in a little bit closer. Street Fighter 2010. That's a weird game. Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. I used to have a lot more copies of these games, but I didn't need 2 copies of Super Mario Brothers 3 and 3 copies of Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. So I sold them so I could get some more games. Some different ones. Super Pitfall, TNC Surf Designs. Sorry, I'm getting out of breath here. I need to actually take a breath. There we go. Tecmo Super Bowl. This is another example of me having 2 of the same game because somebody didn't want them. Tecmo Super Bowl. It's actually a really fun game. I hate sports games like football and baseball and things like that. But Tecmo Super Bowl is the only football game I like. And then the one for the Super Nintendo. But that's it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ooh, yeah. There we go. That's a fucking impossible game. 2 copies of Tetris for the same reason. I still have some extra games I need to get rid of, but I want to do it the right way and not give it to a fucking company that's going to give me 10 cents for it and then turn around and sell it for fucking $80. Not happening on my watch. Adventures of Bayou Billy. It's kind of a difficult game. It's by Konami, so meh. The Goonies 2, a weird game, also made by Konami. Karate Kid, awesome, but not. Zelda and Adventures of Link. It's just one of those 2 of those games that, you know, action adventure games, you know it. The Terminator. And the rest is just, you know, whatever. Moving on to Super Nintendo. Carrier Aces. There's actually a story behind this game. I had it a long time ago when I was a kid. Me and my brother used to play it a lot. And then we got rid of it and sold it and got new games. And over the years, we forgot what this game was. We thought it was for the Nintendo. And we knew it was an airplane game. We forgot what it was. And one day I was going around and I was at one of my local video game stores. And I saw it and I was like, man, this game looks fucking familiar. So I looked up gameplay footage of it real fast. And I was like, I'll be damned. It's the same game. So I bought it that day. Fun game. It's a 2-player game, so you can dogfight and airplanes, and it's a fun game. Next to that, Castlevania 4. That's a very fun game. All the Castlevania games are pretty good. Clay Fighter 2, Judgment Clay. That's fun. Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country 2. I don't have the third. I need to get it because I really want it. I really love the Donkey Kong Country games. The first being my absolute favorite. Second one being hard as balls, and the third one is not as great, but it's okay. I mean, the games don't suck, and that's all I care about. Frogger is a good one. I'm running out of battery or space here, so I have to hurry this up. F-Zero, Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures. That's a fun one. Killer Instinct. That's a must-have. Mortal Kombat 3. Pilot Wings. RoboCop vs. Terminator, SimCity, that's a fun one. Star Fox, Super Ghouls and Ghosts is a fun one. What are these? Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario Kart. Super Mario World, obviously all the Super Mario games. Super Star Wars. Here's the Tecmo Super Bowl game for the SNES. That is the fun one. The music is just, gets me every time. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, not as bad as the game as everybody thinks it is. Great Circus Mystery. It's a Mickey Mouse game. Wayne's World and Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. And next to that, I have the Super Game Boy. And the Game Boy games to go with it. So, that's gonna... Oh, and I've got the Guitar Hero guitar sitting over here. Got my gaming chair. It works. My TV. There's actual TV. It's a 36-inch. Down here is the Wii console, and I've got controllers and stuff down there for every single one of the systems. So that's going to be the entire show that I have. I do have a little bit more stuff, but I'm going to cover it in their own individual episodes. I'll talk more about it and stuff. But that's my collection so far. I don't collect everything that I can. I'm not the type of collector who just goes out and buys every single game that he can get his hand on. I usually like to buy games that I enjoy, and I collect for systems that I enjoy. Is why I don't have any Sega systems, because I'm not a big fan of the Sega games. I had a Genesis, and I wasn't a big fan, so I don't collect for it. I only collect for the stuff that I like, and I only collect the things that I like. So my collection may get bigger depending on if I find any cooler games that I used to have. As far as game systems go, not so much. This is probably all that I'm going to want. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there, and then I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.